Guess what we've got in the back?
Our two girls.
Our two girls. I think Kit's pregnant.
Yeah.
We'll see on the other one.
Yeah, we're going to see if they're pregnant.
They're going to go stay with Cody for a couple of days. All right, here we go. So somebody said they like my jokes. Keep them coming.
Your jokes, keep them coming?
Right, yes. Do you know why scallops don't share?
No.
Because they're shellfish. Oh dear.
Oh, okay. Because they're selfish, but they're shellfish.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. You asked for it.
Alicia M says, "Oh my God, my son is going to do this procedure. We're talking about AIing and collecting from a dog. Yeah, it'll go good. Just follow the video, and you'll do fine." What number in the fine care is safe to take puppies? 3. Yeah, maybe 3.3. It's a little higher than IDEX, but generally the rule is 3. 3 for any of them. 3 for IDEX, 3 for Emulite, 3 for fine care, 3 for mini Vitus. They're all about 3. Joe Sunderland asking some questions on our 5th litter. Still have lots to learn. Would you do a video show us what you look for in a pup to decide if it's likely sound to breed or for a pet home? I've got a video on that. I think it's called like How to Evaluate a Puppy. So there is a video on that from probably a few years ago. So there is a video on that.
So there's a link on our website that sends you to our YouTube.
No, you've got to put it to YouTube. Yeah, if you put the word on our channel, Evaluate, you'll find it. I have a lilac tri-female. What colour should I breed her to get lilac puppies? Well, another lilac. So if you put it with a lilac, you get all lilac puppies across the board. If you get a lilac and tan, you'll get lilac and tan puppies. So a lilac. And we've got some if you're interested. So you call the number at the beginning, the 806 number.
Yeah, lilac and tan that carries testable and lilac and tan that carries fluffy. And that number to call is 806-664-0173. Those are Cody's babies. So lilac and tan fluffies and lilac and tan testicles.
And lilac and tans. And double A recessive lilacs. So he's got 5 dogs actually that'll do it. And when Debbie says babies, she means proven studs. Okay, so here's Deandra Washington, similar kind of thing. How do AT-AT mum and AT-AT dog produce solid lilacs? They can't. So if you put 2 dogs together with AT-AT, they will get tan-pointed dogs. So you won't produce solid colours.
No.
To produce solid colour, you've got to produce AYAYs, AYATs, or AAs. That's how you produce, or AYAs. That's how you can't have 2 copies of AT or ATA. Those will produce tan points. So you've got to get those out of there if you want to produce solid colours.
Now on ATA and ATA-wise, you can get AAs, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes,
but AT-ATs...
Got to produce AT-AT. Two AT-AT dogs have to produce AT-AT offspring.
Right.
So you can't get solid colours.
Yeah.
Kiko Bisbee. Talking about split heat. He mentioned common in younger dogs. Have you seen older dogs go through it? Absolutely. So here we go. Right now, 6-year-old miniature bully. She's on day 31 of first signs of blood and only at a 5.66 today. Well, 5.66 is actually getting pretty close. So you give me some numbers here, and let's have a look here. Over a 24-day period, she went from 0.51 up to as high as a 5.9. And look, when you get to that 5.96 number, you're going to have to test every day because you're going to breed her on a 15. And typically, when you're at a 5, we call that ovulation. 2 days later, you breed. The problem is that we get in this false fallacy believing that 5 is ovulation when in fact she's not ovulating in this case. So nothing to worry about. She's an older dog, and that's probably exactly the reason for it. Her engine's a bit slowed up. It's firing on 4 out of 6 cylinders kind of thing. But there's no reason why she couldn't make it. Right, so there we go. Here's a good one. See what Tammy answers this one. Felix, well, first off, the 33mm photo says we rock, all that free info. Thanks very much. You're welcome. Thanks for the shout out too. So Felix Fargus, here's a good question. What's something you wish you'd have known as a first-time breeder? So we're talking about when we started rolling with this.
There's a lot of things I wish I'd known as a first-time breeder. That's why we do these videos for you as first-time breeders, so you'll be prepared and you'll know the do's and don'ts.
So give us your three. Give us three. I'm going to give three. Give three.
Well, puppies die from being cold. So the incubator's fantastic. The heated whelping system's fantastic. The oxygen concentrator. Those are the three things that I wished I'd known.
So Tammy's talking about things to save puppies that puppies get in trouble, and I think that's a good answer. So my answer is slightly different. So, this depends on whether you're talking about having naturally whelping dogs like labs, or whether you're having dogs like Frenches that have C-sections. For me, the biggest thing that I see people get messed up on is taking puppies early.
Oh God, yeah.
We've done it.
Yes.
And it's horrible.
Oh,
and it's hard to recover from that with the litter. You likely lose some or all of the litter. So this is something that, before we had progesterone machines, and we were just simply, and even with progesterone machines, by the way, some of you have got vets who get gung-ho about taking puppies early, and this problem occurs typically in small litters, where you've got one or two puppies, where the signals are not very strong, and the reason that you have a small litter is you're probably AI'd early. And in that situation, it looks like you're going along on the whelp, but in fact you're not, and you take puppies early. So that's number one, but have a progesterone machine. That's something that we got 3 or 4 years ago, and it is stopped that from happening, and it's increased litter size. So for me, number one thing would be, if you're really going to start breeding, get a progesterone machine. Of course, we sell those, so there's the plug for that on My Breeder Supply. And although it's, by the time you've got all the test kits and a centrifuge machine, you're going to bury $3,000 into it.
Yeah,
remember.
but it's something that makes you money.
Well, it's something that stops you from losing money, doesn't it?
Yeah, losing money and makes you money, because you can start doing other people's testing for them on the progesterone machine to see about heat, on when the timing for breeding and the timing for C-section.
We're going to take the rest of this video talking about this.
Yeah.
So this is Felix has asked a good question.
Yeah, he did.
So I mean, Tammy's what she's saying is exactly right. It's not only that, but now it costs you $9 to take a test. You don't have to go to the vet, spend an hour waiting at the vet,
$50
getting
to $75 to $100.
and $50 to $150. And 50 is a low end. $100 is probably fairly average.
I don't know, because we do those tests
$9.
ourselves. Yeah.
$9 results in 50 minutes. So now what do? You do test more often. So this is the next thing, is that what we used to do is we'd get what we thought was the right place, a 5 or an 8, and breed the next day or the day after. And we wouldn't test again because we didn't want to spend the money or take the time. But quite a few of those dogs, and the example is the question that was 2 questions ago about the older dog, those dogs look like they have ovulated, they're at a 5, but you test them a couple of days later and they're still on a 5. They've not ovulated, you miss that breeding completely. So, progesterone test. I think that progesterone machine is the thing that will pay dividends and save you the heartache of lost puppies. So that for me,
remember when we used to do labs many years ago? We raised Labrador retrievers for 8 years, and the days to breed them was day
11 through 13,
9,
yeah,
and
we missed quite
12,
a few days, didn't we? Yeah,
and 15.
Yeah.
Those were those days that you bred on,
Yeah,
we did get successful a lot of times,
Yeah.
but that's on your bigger breeds.
Well,
With
30% of the time you didn't get a litter.
Yeah. Well,
And now we're more like 10% of the time.
but on the Frenchies, you bingo bango with this progesterone machine.
I think with any dog.
Yeah, bigger
So,
litters, and
I can't think the guy's name. He's up
get them
in
pregnant all the time.
Utah. He does lots of Bernese dogs.
Most of
He's
the
a
time.
he's a Berner.
Oh yeah, Bernedoodle.
Bernedoodle guy.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember his name. He's a really nice guy. Anyway, but I mean, he's got a machine and he swears by it now. He does a lot of tests for other people. Anyway, enough of that. So number 2 for me is a heated whelping kit. And the reason for that is it makes your life so much easier. So the way it used to be for us is that you're really worried about puppies getting cold, about puppies getting squished.
Yeah.
So the answer was a heat lamp or a heat pad.
where
And
the
what's
wire came in through the cage with the mama dog nervous, chews onto the wire, and then what happens?
Well, we've had one where, for instance, with the labs, where the heat lamp fell down and burned puppy.
Oh, well, and
We've had
sunburn.
some-
And sunburn.
And so, I remember one where we went to Dr. Keith at West Animal Hospital, and we had a puppy that was. He said, James, that puppy sunburned. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Heat lamp. Puppy couldn't get away from the heat. So the whole idea behind our whelping system is now that you drive the puppies automatically to be under the pig rail where the heat is. Mum's not getting hot. Puppies are safe. Puppies spend most of the time underneath the whelping rail. And mum wants to be in her with the babies. So you don't have to separate mum and her babies, which causes anxiety. And you don't have puppies that are getting flooded because they only get fed every 3 hours and they're all scrambling on mum at the same time.
Yeah.
So that would be number 2 for me.
because her milk is so full. You know, when she waits those 2-3 hours and her milk's just generated big time.
Yep.
And then the puppies are put on and they're nursing as fast as they can because they're hungry. And so then the milk starts flowing, and then what happens? It gushes out their nose, they aspirate,
Got
then
pneumonia.
they get the pneumonia from it.
Yep.
And then also you're taking chances on mama getting, I can't think of the name. Mastitis.
Yep.
So if they're with mama 24/7, if you got a litter of 6 puppies, 3 to 4 puppies will be nursing on her, and then they fall off, go to sleep, crawl where the heat tape is to keep nice and warm, and
Yeah, they all just sequence themselves,
and
don't
then
they?
when they go back under the tape after being full, belly's full, and got cold, this person's ridiculous.
That's it. Debbie doesn't like going slow, folks.
No.
Here we go. We're
so
doing
anyway, those
68,
79,
79, 82.
Those 3 or 4 puppies had fell off the titty, got cool on where mama's laying, went straight for the heat rail,
Yeah.
or the heat tape area where the pig rail is.
Fall asleep.
Woke up the other puppies. Then they went, oh, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And they woke up and went crawling over there to mama. And
Right. So that's number 2.
it works in shifts like that. So mama's milk is being,
Yeah. So number 3, incubator.
yeah.
And here's the reason for the incubator. Here, I'll give you a horror story. This was when we had labs, and we went in to have shots. We didn't have an
Oh.
incubator.
This was like 35 years ago.
Yep. There was parvo there's a parvo dog on the table.
And of all things, I used to work at this vet's clinic.
Yep.
And
Yep.
the woman knew me quite well at the desk and didn't warn me
Anyway,
ahead of time.
we went home
So,
with-
no. Didn't warn us ahead of time. James and I walk in there with the towels like we always do with our puppies. Sit down. And I saw the couple in the other room crying, and I said, what happened? Did it die? She goes, oh no, it's got parvo. And I mean, James and I looked at each other,
Too late.
walked right out that door. It's too late. We were already in the area where we touched the handle, walked in there, sat down, and this was like 35 years ago.
So the
when we
incubator
raised Labrador retrievers.
completely isolates the dogs. That's the first thing. So you completely isolate the dogs so that you can hopefully escape that situation. But the other thing about an incubator is it's very good for taking puppies home. Now we can go, an hour and a half drive to find somebody who can do a C-section for maybe $300 versus $1,000. We can literally, and for some of you guys, it's like $3,000 and $4,000, and maybe you can get your C-section cost down to $1,000. You can put them in the incubator, and they'll be fine for 4 or 5 hours before they nurse on mum. Mum's out of it anyway. So, and then the other thing is, when we get home, the incubator stays on. It's on for the next 3 weeks. If we have a sick puppy, and to give you an example, we had a litter of 10 fluffies. I think 4 of those were sub 6 ounce puppies.
No, there was 3. I remember this quite well.
Yep.
3. One of them was at 4.5. One of them was at 5, and the other one was at 5.5.
Yes, and the other 7
were all
were big and
normal.
fat, 8,
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
puppies.
So,
They went to the incubator. They got tube fed, and it took about 3 days to get them back up to 8-9 ounces, and then they were with the rest of the population. Saved them. Without the incubator, it'd have been rough.
yeah.
So those are the 3 things for me, similar to Tammy, and of course I need to send a check to Felix for a commission on bringing up this subject to let us spend the rest of this video trying to get you to buy products from us.
Yeah. But let me just tell you what I do, since I had that scare tactic happen to me about 35 years ago.
Parvo deal, yep.
Yeah. This is what I do. When I make a vet appointment and I have to take a puppy in, or my dog's in, period, and I have to take them in, I call my vet, get the appointment, and then as I drive up, I call and say, just let me know when I can come in with my babies. And they'll say, okay. And I'll also ask them, have you had any sick dogs, as in parvo today? Because anymore, it seems like it's can be year round. And so,
yeah. And
anyway, but this is what I do. When I go in, I carry my crate in there. I don't let people want to touch my puppies through the cage.
Nope.
I take in a pee pad with me, and then when the doctor calls me back to the office, I still have them in the crate, and I go in the doctor's office, I set my crate on top of the table, I lay my pee pad down, so when I pull out my babies or my adult dog out, they're on top of that pee pad.
yes.
So I try to be as safe as possible. As soon as I spray my hands, wash my hands, whatever.
So how often when you go to the vet, do you see the vet come in and they are either washing their hands or got gloves on?
Oh yeah.
Do you see it? Not very often.
Remember, you can carry that stuff on your shoes too, so it's also wise to have some kind of spray to spray on the bottom of your shoes, take them off at the door.
Yes. This all sounds like we are really paranoid, but the answer is...
I tell you what, if you ever went through that, you will be paranoid.
Yeah.
And it's, I'm always about the what if.
It's like wearing a seatbelt. How often do you need a seatbelt? You need it maybe 1 in 10,000 trips, this seatbelt. But when you wear your seatbelt and you get in an accident, this is the likely thing that saves your life.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's minor precautions.
Better safe than sorry.
Minor precautions for horrible outcomes if you don't.
When it comes to your babies, it's better, or anything really.
Yes.
Better safe than
So we're
sorry.
17 minutes onto what's supposed to be a 10-minute video, so we're sorry that, but I mean, this is really important stuff. It really
well,
is.
you got me talking about the scary
absolutely.
tactic,
And I mean, so the point of this is not so much.
They wanted to know what were our 3 things.
There you go. And the 3 things.
What it was.
And that's why we invented these things. This is why we perfected these things. Is because
we want to help you out.
Well, we needed
the
ourselves.
do's and
We
don'ts.
absolutely needed it ourselves. So to do a better job, we needed to have these things. We realized there was a problem, and we fixed those problems by those 3 products. But again, it's not. Hey, I don't want to make the whole thing a big sales thing. It's not a sales thing. It's about what you need to do.
Right.
Thanks for watching. Say goodbye, Tammy.
Bye. Remember, we've got babies. The phone number to call, 580-799-1910 or 806-664-0173. Now you can turn it off, James.
Sorry that we wasted so much of your time today, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.